Alright everyone, so today I wanted to go over the #1 mistake in Grand Cross Global for newer players, and this is a huge mistake that I made. And why I wanted to put this video out there is because I've been playing Global since day one, but I didn't really have a lot of knowledge. I kind of came into the game without knowing a lot about JP, and I really wanted to learn things myself because I enjoy that. But of course, doing that has led to many mistakes, and the reason why this one is #1 on the list is because this mistake is incredibly difficult to recover from, especially early on. It involves a resource that is very time gated, which means you can only get so much of it every certain period of time, and because of that, if you let it go to waste, you're just essentially going to have to wait in order to get more of it. Now, a lot of other mistakes in Grand Cross, you could pretty much fix them that very same day, like gold. You know, if you spend gold on something stupid and you waste it, you can go and you can farm more gold that very same day. There's no time gate preventing you from doing so. You could use stamina to farm books in order to get gold. You don't have to use the gold keys. Now, if you end up wasting all of your stamina doing something stupid, that's fine, because stamina regenerates at a rate of every 2 minutes, which is very generous. The thing is, this mistake involves a resource that you don't really get that many of early on, so you want to make sure that you plan it out. And what this is, I guess the simple version of it is pressing this button right here, maybe a little bit too much on too many different units, and that is evolving without a plan. Now, the reason why I say this is because it involves these pendants, and these pendants are very time-gated. You can't just go out there, and if you run out of pendants, there's really no way to farm as many of these as you want. There are ways to get them, but they're very limited. You only really get a certain amount of them every so often. Now, unlike books, for example, you know, if I waste books, that's fine. I can go that very same day and farm more books. Or if I waste gold, I could just go and farm more gold that very same day. Absolutely not true for pendants. Now, yes, you will be able to eventually, I guess you could say, fix this mistake, but early on, with the limited number of pendants that you get, you really want to give yourself as good of a head start in the game, working on units that are really going to be important to you. And the best suggestion that I can give you is plan things out. Plan out which units you want to work on before you even start to work on them, and understand that those units are going to be a big investment, because when you evolve, it's not just going to take 3 SSR pendants, for example, but then you also need an additional 3 SSR pendants for every time that you limit break them. And at the time of me making this video, we've got level 75 as the maximum. So for an SSR unit, you're looking at 3 SSR pendants to evolve it, and then 3 more SSR pendants to take it to 65, 3 more to 70, and then 3 more to 75, and of course, eventually, you'll need another 3 more in order to end up taking it to 80. So that is a lot of SSR pendants, and because you just can't get these whenever that you want to, you really want to make sure to plan it out. So, you know, be careful. The limit breaking is going to take these pendants just as much as evolving, and you know, it's probably not really, you probably don't want to take your main characters and only evolve them and not really plan to limit break them, because then you're going to be setting yourself back in terms of how powerful your characters are. So another, I guess you could say, precaution is just keep in mind, before you evolve a unit, even if it's only level 50 SSR at the time, before you evolve it, don't think that it's going to take 3 SSR pendants. Plan around that number of 12 to 15, because that's truly what it's going to take in order to evolve it, but then also limit break it multiple times to get it to whatever the maximum limit break level is, 75 or 80, depending on when you end up watching this video. So SSR pendants are typically considered to be the most scarce out of all of them. And another really cool thing that I will mention, and probably something that newer players are going to neglect, is there are a lot of fantastic SR units in the game. Absolutely fantastic. And SR units are going to take a different resource compared to the SSR units. They're actually going to use these SR pendants. So, you know, if you are still starting out and you don't have a ton of those SSR pendants, and you're kind of waiting on different options in order to get more of them, definitely go back and take a look at some of your SR units, because some of them are insanely good and they use this different resource, which means that it's not competing. So you can take whatever units that you're working on that are base SSRs, and then when you run out of pendants, obviously you're going to be waiting to get more of them, then start working on SR units. And these are going to be great as well for associations, because they're a lot easier in order to take to the maximum ultimate level and get that full boost of 10% stats. So my general overall plan when it comes to, you know, figuring this stuff out before you actually start to use the resources is, you know, have your, I guess you could say, like your PvE or your farming team in mind with whatever units that you have available to you. Have your PvP team, whatever units that is, kind of have that available to you at the back of your head. If you want to write it down, that's totally fine. However you decide to do this, kind of know what those different teams are. And then what else I would say is work on one of those, whichever is more important to you. Now, this is obviously going to be a debate. Some players will tell you PvP is much more important. Definitely focus on that. So focus on your PvP team first. Other players will tell you, no, don't do that. Focus on your farming team, because now that we're further along into the game, it's a lot more difficult to climb up PvP. It's way more resource intensive. And if you work on your farming team first, then you're going to be able to farm resources quicker, earlier on, and you'll kind of be able to really jumpstart how quickly you're going to be able to progress through the game. Either way you decide to go, whichever side of the scale, just pick a team and focus on those units. Don't spread yourself too thin doing what I did. Like, I have no idea why I took my blue Melodius to level 70. I know you need to take him to 65 for some of the quests, but I don't think there was any reason to take him to 70. So that was just kind of one of those things that I did because I didn't really know any better when I was newer. And don't really just experiment with units until you know a little bit more about them. Like, there are probably several units that I leveled up that I honestly just really didn't need to, and I could have put those pendants to more use on units that was going to directly benefit my account in terms of progression, farming, PvP earlier on, and, you know, getting these jump starts earlier on is going to add up to be a huge difference later on in the game. So when I compare how far I've gotten playing the game quite a bit compared to other people who are more experienced playing JP for a long time, who have put their resources to much better use, you know, these differences add up to be quite a bit, and I've set myself back a lot with this very simple mistake. So don't do that. Be careful who you evolve, be careful who you limit break, and something simple as that is going to really help out in the long term. So I'm going to leave it here for this video. I hope that it helped out. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed it and you want more videos like this, consider subscribing to the channel. Feel free to toss a quick like. It means more than you can imagine, and more Grand Cross Global videos should be popping up on the screen. Feel free to check them out. If not, until next time, have a fantastic day, everyone, and this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.